The first module of the Postdoc Academy course called Building Skills for a Successful Career focuses on leadership. It helps postdocs reflect on the characteristics of leaders, learn the attributes and structures of evidence-based leadership frameworks with a focus on authentic leadership, but also encourages them to do self-assessments and reflect on their leadership style. The goal of this module is to focus on how one can adapt the leadership style to specific situations and the competencies and needs of followers.
One model that expands on our prior content is the Situational Leadership Model, as defined by the Center for Leadership Studies. It acknowledges that taking a single leadership approach and applying it to every single situation might not always lead to a successful outcome, and provides a process that leaders can use to determine how to adapt their leadership style to different situations. This model includes 4 broad leadership styles as illustrated on the slide: directing, coaching, supporting, and delegating. Postdocs that have taken the module and their skills assessment will have a sense of their default or go-to style and can think about how to flex that style to different types of situations. Each style is relevant in a given situation depending on how much direction, as indicated on the x-axis seen on the slide, and how much support, as indicated on the y-axis, that your team may need.
As a postdoc, I have had to adopt different styles in different situations. For example, I recently worked with a graduate assistant who knew the ropes of her work like the back of her hand, and just needed to be told where to focus her attention. Delegating her tasks was just totally appropriate. However, back in the old days when I was still working in a wet lab, I have had to adopt a coaching style to help trainees or colleagues learn how to execute a specific protocol that I used often before stepping into a supporting style as they became more and more competent and needed less and less of my help and support. The chart presented on this slide can also be used to adapt your style of influence to other situations. For example, in a collaboration where the leadership is shared among colleagues, you might take the lead on some tasks to support the team. This is the supporting style. You may also, at times, pitch new ideas or encourage the team to go in a specific direction. This is the directive style. Finally, when listening to and encouraging a fellow colleague going through a tough time, you can adopt a coaching style, which is both supportive and directive.
Use the chart to observe and name the styles you naturally adopted in different contexts and analyze the impact you had. What impact did you have on the people around you? Is this impact aligned with the intentions you had in mind when you spoke up or took action? If not, could you consider leveraging a different style? What would that look like? Feel free to pause the video to think about an example of a time when you did not have the impact you wished.
You can also use the chat prior to joining a meeting or getting involved in a project to choose a specific leadership style and intentionally communicate with your colleagues. The rest of this module provides advice from postdoc colleagues on how they define and adapt their leadership style and how they're planning to gain leadership skills during their postdoc. You will also have access to a discussion framework and a handout, which you can use to prepare for the conversation with your mentor, to talk about your leadership style, and ways to find leadership opportunities during your postdoc. We hope you leave this module well-equipped to have a meaningful conversation with your mentor and to intentionally flex your leadership style in the future.